The moment we've all been waiting for, the double game week has finally been announced. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. 2 minutes after deadline yesterday, Premier League announced a double game week. So essentially trolling everyone that was trying to get their wildcard in before the game week 25 deadline. But the fixtures are finally announced. We've got a massive double game week with loads of really important fixtures to look at. So what I've done, I've built a wildcard team because I know a lot of people were saving their wildcard for game week 26. And what we'll do is we'll discuss all the players that I've put in that wildcard team, but then also how we then build towards the game week 29 blank, which again is arguably even more important because there's only 4 fixtures in it. So let's have a look at the team. So this is the blank template. So let's just go through it from goalkeepers all the way to the front. So I made actually a total of 9 transfers in this team. So if I was going to use a wild card now, this is what I'd be kind of aiming towards. We still have a few quid in the bank, so we could make some additional swaps if needed. First of all, the goalkeepers. So Hugo Lloris, looking at Spurs fixtures going forward, they've arguably the best fixtures from a defensive standpoint. Now, typically, I'd prefer just to get a defender in from Spurs instead of a goalkeeper because Lloris isn't the cheapest goalkeeper around, and certainly a lot of Spurs defenders are a lot cheaper. So you'd argue take the defenders because they've always got a chance at attacking returns, right? Problem with Spurs is you can't guarantee any of their defenders' games at the moment. So we really want to lock in players right now that are guaranteed and nailed on to play. So Hugo Lloris is pretty much the only one. 5.6 million. We don't really need a reserve goalkeeper because he only has one tricky fixture against Man United. And then I think the last game of the season is a tricky one. But apart from that, you can just play him the entire way through. So yeah, I've not spent any money on a reserve goalkeeper. We've just put in Fabry, whoever that guy is from Fulham. He's never going to get on the pitch. So yeah, we'll go through that way. Looking at the defence then. So we've not made a huge amount of changes from our current team. We've still got 1 Everton player, 2 City, and one Leeds, but we've kind of mixed it up a bit. So we put quite a bit of money in our defence actually here. So just in terms of the City defenders, Cancelo, he's nailed on in every team. No one's getting rid of him. And Stones as well. So I had Diaz. Now the reason I dropped down to Stones is because I think they're going to get similar minutes. Like I think they're probably both the City's main central defenders at the moment. So I think Stones may get the occasional rest, but actually with this team, I really needed to save on the budget. So that's why Stones is in ahead of Diaz for me. But the two of them, I still want to treble up on City. Man City they're on the best run of any team. They've got arguably some of the easiest fixtures coming up. And obviously focusing on that double game week, they've got 2 really easy fixtures as well. Same reason why we've kept Luca Digne in the team as well. So Everton have arguably the easiest double game week. And then they have another double game week likely to come up in a game week or 2. So we want to keep Luca Digne through that. Pretty much him or Dominic Calvert-Lewin are the only 2 lads we'd probably consider from Everton. Now, we've not gone for Calvert-Lewin in this team. I think it's just a bit too risky. Everton aren't exactly world beaters at the moment. But Luca Digne, there's a good chance he'll get some clean sheets regardless of how good or bad Everton are playing at the moment. So, yeah, we'll keep him in there and hope he gets the assist as well. We've gone for Robertson. So we've not been we've not gone heavy on Liverpool at all this season. I don't recall a time where we've had more than 1 Liverpool player. But Liverpool's fixtures, if you go look at the remaining fixtures, they have the easiest fixtures according to the FPL difficulty tracker. So I think we want at least 2 Liverpool players if we're wildcarding. Robertson is probably going to get some attacking returns. I'd expect Liverpool they're not going to play this bad for the rest of the season. So I definitely gamble on a Robertson at this stage. And again, for the double game week, we're really just focusing on the players we think are going to get the most points. And then Strujic, or Struij, however you pronounce his name, 3.9 million. The last 8 or 9 game weeks, he's only missed 1 game for Leeds. And that was where they played a slightly different formation. So you could argue he's pretty much nailed now. he almost scored twice last night. He's quite attacking. He obviously got a goal a few game weeks ago. So 3.9 million, you only want a defender who might get a game. So to have a defender who's guaranteed games and also could get attacking returns in arguably the most attacking team in the league, like no brainer if you're wildcarding. I actually regret not putting him in instead of Dallas. I just didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. So yeah, I might have wasted an extra million having Dallas in when maybe this chap would have done the business as well. So he doesn't have a double game week in game week 26, but again, we're really focusing on him for the game week 29. So we've got our 11 that'll have the nice double game weeks in 26. Then we've kind of put a bit of attention onto the lads that'll have games in 29. So we've got a full team of players, or just about. So moving on to the midfield. Few shocks in there maybe. We'll start with Jack Grealish. So I think it's important to keep Aston Villa assets where we can, because they're going to have at least 2 double game weeks. Their double game week in 26 is all right, but then also they've got a game in 29. So like Aston Villa, you want to probably maintain at least 2 players. Similar to Tottenham, you want to keep at least 2 of their players just because of the fact that they've got the double game week in 26 and then they've got the blank in 29. So that's really the reason. I don't think Grealish is going to necessarily keep up with the average that he's set so far. Villa seem to be tailing off a little, and actually after game week 29, just get rid of all your Villa players. They've got the worst fixtures. They're not exactly on form. But between game week 26 and 29, we want to make sure that we supplement our team with Villa. Mo Salah. So you can probably see that I've got rid of Fernandes. I've been talking about that for a few weeks. I just think his fixtures are tricky. And United aren't exactly setting the world alight at the moment. And I have to make a sacrifice. So in order for me to get this team, I have to get rid of one of my big hitters. And it's just not going to be Salah or Son based on the fixtures. So yeah, we're keeping Mo Salah. Fernandes is going to drop out. Fernandes is going to score points. But what we're arguing is that maybe he won't score enough points to justify keeping him in at the price he's at. So that's the whole way of playing this game. So yeah, Fernandes gone, Salah in. And yeah, Salah will be in my team now till the rest of the season. Harvey Barnes, arguably one of the best value players at the moment. Leicester on a really good run. They have some fairly good fixtures coming up between now and the end of the season. On the FPL difficulty tracker, I think they're 2nd or 3rd. So they've definitely going to get some good points moving forward. Maybe not the best double in game week 26, but again, it's Leicester. Like, they're playing so well. They're scoring goals. Barnes is getting involved in everything, and 6.8 million just seems like a bargain. Too good to refuse for me. So yeah, I'm going to get him in my own team actually next week, and yeah, keep him till the end of the season. Phil Foden then. So a lot of surprises here, because I just, again, without checking, just assumed Foden was still kind of in a rotation, getting 1 in every 3. But actually, he's only missed 1 of the last like 8 or 9 games. So, and he's scoring and playing really well. So I just find it hard to believe that Pep can turn him back into bench fodder. Like, I think he might have found his way into that team, and rightly so. So I'd be willing to take a gamble on him. We can always swap him back out for a Gundogan or another player. But certainly for game week 26, if I was wildcarding, I'd be having Foden in. He's a good enabler as well. And yeah, that's that. Foden, if he does play every single game week, he's a no-brainer for every team. So we're hoping that continues in this team. And then finally, Son. So the only guy I've had since game week 4. Probably not going to leave my team. We'll look at the fixtures in a moment, actually, because we've not touched upon the actual fixtures of each player. But the double game week looks nice. Game week 29, he's got a fixture. Then after that point, there's some nice fixtures as well. So yeah, I think Tottenham could be the assets to keep. They may not steamroll teams 4 or 5-0, but getting the occasional goal for Son, like, you're going to get 9-10 point returns each time. So yeah, I'm a big fan of keeping Son. And then finally, the strikers. So again, another 1 or 2 maybe controversial choices. So Harry Kane, the least controversial. I think everyone needs to try and find a way to get him in for game week 26. He's going to be my triple captain. I'm almost certain of that. Now, I might not have mentioned at the beginning, but I actually don't have a wild card. This is really just a template for people that do have wild cards. So I'm sure people are thinking, how can you wild card and use a triple captain? You can't. But yeah, so for me, I'm going to triple captain Kane this week. Madja, so yeah, really to do a budget. In order for me to get the rest of this team, I need to get a budget striker, and Madja for Fulham. Like, he just looked electric against Everton, fairly new to their team. And I've said it in previous videos, if he can play like he did there against Everton for the rest of the season, he's going to get enough points to justify 5.5 million. So the main reason I got him in is because of the budget, and also he plays game week 29. So we're not going to play him in 26, but we're just trying to build towards that 29 team. Again, I'm going to show you what a 26 and 29 team looks like in a moment based on this team. But that's why Madge is in there. And then Watkins, similar to why we have Grealish, I don't think Watkins is going to smash in goals every week, but double game week 26, game week 29, and then get rid of the Villa players after that. So that's all that's to be said. So how does this team line up in 26? Well, I'll tell you, there it is. So, again, we're assuming the wildcard's been active. The squad value will be 103.8 with 0.6 in the bank. So, again, still maintaining a high value. Now, I would have lost about 2 million if I made this wildcard. My team's currently worth over 106 million. So, that's kind of the reason why you want to have good value getting into this stage in the season, because it just allows you to make transfers other teams can't make. So, here we go. So as you can see, we won't go through everyone individually, but we're playing a 4-4-2 on the bench. I've already forgotten the name of our reserve goalkeeper. There's just some bloke in there. Strujic, whatever his name is our defensive bench player. Then we've got Grealish and Madge. So look, you could argue you want to play Grealish instead of Harvey Barnes. I'd be okay with that. But I just like the idea of not playing two Villa players when we already know they're not exactly playing well. But yeah, I actually don't mind playing Grealish instead of Barnes there. I'd have him as my first sub. But likely a double game week, your subs don't usually come on when you use a wildcard or a free hit. So yeah, looking at the fixtures, like none of those teams are playing big. None of those players are really playing big teams. So apart from Salah and Robertson, they have a Chelsea. And then Barnes with Arsenal. Are Arsenal a big team anymore? I don't know. Probably not this season. And a lot of home fixtures. So, yeah, I'd say this team will destroy game week 26. If you have a wild card and you get this team, I think you're going to be absolutely laughing. Harry Kane is the captain for me. Maybe vice captain could be Salah. But again, we won't really need a vice captain, I'd say. And, yeah, that's the team. So how does this now work into game week 29 is what you're probably asking. So if you go to game week 29, you'll have 3 transfers. And the 4 fixtures, like, I think it'll be a low-scoring game, so don't kill yourself. Don't take loads of hits to get players for game week 29. So much so that actually I'm just lining up with 10 players. So the 3 subs I'd make on that game week 26 team, I'd bring in Dunk, Cresswell, and Rafinha. And I play basically a 3-3-3. There'd be no bench. And then, again, we've got obviously a very nice team then moving forward. We'd start to get rid of Grealish and Watkins after game week 29. And yeah, on to game week 33. If you don't have a free hit, I mean, you wouldn't even really need one. A free hit is a luxury for 33. I'm going to use mine on 33 because I think it's going to be a good opportunity to catch points. But there's 8 fixtures, so it's not something you need to necessarily worry about. But yeah, I'd be getting rid of Grealish and Watkins. So that is that. That's what we're probably would advise doing. Now, again, there's going to be a lot of changes between now and next week. I just wanted to get a wildcard template video up early because the excitement of seeing the double game weeks is it's always good fun kind of building those teams. So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of to-ing and throwing this week. A lot of discussions about the best way to approach 26. And the one thing I can guarantee is that there's going to be a lot of movement. So I'm currently I'm currently like 120,000th in the world. Like this double game week 26, if you play it correctly, your rank can go. I could go from 120 to top 50 easily, but I could also go from 120 to 500,000 really easily. So there's big swings coming up. So seatbelts on, strap in, and yeah, let's get on with that. If you are new and watch this video 15 minutes in, it's one of my longer ones, do hit that subscribe button. We are racing towards 10,000 subscribers, so if we get there by the end of the season, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, let's go back to enjoy game week 25, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.